You have arrived here not by accident, not by chance, but because something within you is searching for an answer for someone you love who is hurting. And tonight you will discover that you are not helpless, that your words and your thoughts carry a power greater than medicine, greater than circumstance, greater even than despair. This journey you are about to take will show you how to turn fear into faith, worry into healing, and sorrow into strength. You will learn the forgotten law that what you impress upon your subconscious mind with love and conviction must be expressed in the life of the one you pray for. As you listen, you will feel faith growing where doubt once ruled. You will see how to clothe your loved one not in pity, but in power. You will learn prayers that do not beg but declare, prayers that do not plead but command, prayers that reach beyond the surface and awaken the healing presence already at work. This is not mere comfort, it is transformation. If you open your heart and let these truths sink deep, you will walk away knowing that you hold in your hands the power to lift another soul, to change the atmosphere of their life, and to see with your own eyes what once felt impossible. Stay with me, for every word ahead is a seed, and if you let it take root, it will blossom as strength for your loved one and peace for you. Tonight you will not just listen, you will begin a journey of awakening the law of healing prayer. And once you awaken it, your life and theirs will never be the same. What if I told you that the words you speak in the silence of your heart could become medicine for someone you love? What if your prayer whispered in faith could cross distance, dissolve pain, and awaken healing in another soul? You may doubt that such power belongs to you, but I assure you it does. For thought is the most potent force in existence, and prayer is thought aligned with divine law. When someone you love is hurting, you are not helpless. You hold the key to release, and that key is the prayer you impress upon your subconscious, for the subconscious is the channel of infinite intelligence. It is through your inner conviction that healing flows, and tonight I will show you how to use it. When you see your loved one suffering, do not give power to the image of pain. Do not rehearse the fear. Do not magnify the wound, for what you dwell on you fertilize. Instead, hold fast to the truth of life itself, that beyond the appearance of sickness, there is the presence of wholeness, and that presence responds to your belief. The subconscious does not distinguish between yourself and another. What you affirm for another is as though you affirmed it for yourself. When you declare, "He is whole, she is strong, they are guided and healed," your subconscious accepts the impression and communicates it through the one light that animates all. In truth, there is no separation. We are all connected through the one Spirit, and when you impress harmony within, that harmony extends without. You must therefore pray not with fear, but with authority. Fearful prayers are no prayers at all. They are confessions of doubt, and the subconscious only accepts the feeling behind the words. If you cry out, "Please heal them," but within you tremble with dread, the dread is what is impressed. Instead, affirm with calm conviction. The healing power of God flows through them now. Every cell is alive with divine light. Peace and strength are theirs. Feel it as though it were already true, for in the mind of God it is already complete. When you pray this way, you are not begging for a miracle. You are cooperating with the law that has always been, the law that says what is impressed will be expressed. I recall a woman whose child was stricken with illness. She was frantic with fear, praying night after night with tears, yet nothing changed. I told her, "Your fear is the real prayer you are offering, and the subconscious is answering that, not your words." I guided her to still herself, to enter into silence, and to see her child bathed in light, whole, strong, laughing in joy. She affirmed, "Divine love heals my child. Divine order restores every part. He is whole now." She repeated it with peace until the image filled her completely. Within weeks the child recovered, and the physicians could not explain it. But it was not explanation that mattered. It was law. What she impressed in her heart was expressed in the body of her child. Do not underestimate the reach of your thought. The subconscious of one is linked with the subconscious of all, for there is but one mind expressing through many. When you hold a loved one in the light of divine perfection, you are impressing not only your subconscious but theirs as well. Your belief, radiating with conviction, is received by them in ways unseen, guiding their own subconscious toward healing and harmony. This is why the prayers of a mother are so powerful. why the silent faith of a friend can lift another out of despair. The thought of love, once impressed, is never lost. It moves, it acts, it heals. You may wonder, but what if they do not believe? Their conscious doubt is no barrier to the law, for the subconscious is the true seat of power, and the subconscious responds to impression more than argument. When you impress deeply with love, conviction, and vision, it bypasses resistance and plants seed in the inner soil. Over time, that seed must grow. It is not your task to convince them. It is your task to hold the image of their wholeness so faithfully that nothing can shake it. Let your love be stronger than their fear. Let your faith be louder than their doubt. This is the essence of intercession, not begging an external deity, but impressing the truth of health and harmony until it is expressed. One must also avoid the great mistake of praying two prayers at once. Many affirm healing in one breath, then speak fear in the next. They say, "He is healed," but then whisper, "What if he dies?" Such contradiction confuses the impression, and the subconscious, though powerful, can only express the dominant belief. That is why you must be single-minded. Choose the prayer of healing and hold it unwaveringly. Do not allow fear to water down faith. When doubt rises, answer it with affirmation. Say firmly, "Divine order reigns here. He is whole. She is strong. The power of God flows now." Persist until conviction replaces doubt, and then rest, for the seed is sown. Perhaps you say, "But the condition looks hopeless." Remember, appearances are the past made visible. They are the result of yesterday's impressions. Do not worship the shadow of the past. Create a new cause for the future. The subconscious is always listening, always ready to receive. Impress it with wholeness tonight, and tomorrow the expression begins. Do not measure results by the hour or the day. Seeds germinate in their own season. Trust the law. Once the subconscious accepts the image of health, nothing can prevent its expression. The timing is not your burden, the planting is. Plant faithfully, and the harvest must come. Now let us seal this part with a living affirmation for your loved one. Say it with me, not as a wish but as a decree. The healing light of God surrounds them. Divine love flows through them. Every cell is whole, every organ restored, every thought at peace. They are guided, they are strong, they are healed. Write it on your paper. Whisper it in your heart. Repeat it until it becomes your conviction. For once it is impressed, it must be expressed. And tonight, as you speak this prayer, know that you are not sending a hope. You are releasing a law, and that law cannot fail. When someone you love is hurting, the temptation is to stare at the problem, to magnify the pain, to rehearse the fear until it consumes you. But remember this truth: what you focus upon expands, and what you continually dwell on is impressed upon the subconscious. If you see only sickness, you fertilize sickness. If you hold firmly to the image of health, you fertilize health. Your task is not to dwell upon the condition, but to supply a higher image for the subconscious to work with. The body is the servant of the mind, and when the mind is flooded with the image of wholeness, the body must eventually conform. So when your loved one suffers, turn your gaze from appearances and anchor yourself in the unseen reality of healing. That is the true work of prayer. There was once a woman who came to me about her husband, who was lost in despair after losing his business. She said, "I try to encourage him, but his depression is so heavy I feel it pulling me down too." I told her, "Do not speak to the depression, speak to the light within him. See him already lifted, already strong, already rising." She began to pray, not with words of pity, but with words of power. The joy of the Lord fills him, divine order guides him, peace and strength flow through him. She visualized him walking with confidence, smiling with renewed purpose. Within weeks, his spirit began to change. The subconscious, receiving the impression from her loving prayer, expressed it in his life. This is the power you hold. You are never helpless. Love, when clothed in belief, is a force that cannot be resisted. The subconscious does not argue with you, it only accepts. If you declare, "He is weak, she is failing," it will take your word and express weakness. But if you declare, "He is strong, she is healed," it accepts that too, and sets to work expressing it. Every statement is a seed, every thought is a command. Do not sow weeds of fear into the field of another's life. Sow only seeds of healing, peace, and strength. Say within yourself, the law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in their wholeness now. Let that belief saturate your prayer, for the subconscious will always express what is impressed. Some may say, but my words feel empty. I say the affirmations, but I do not believe them. The secret is to persist until belief is born. The subconscious is moved by feeling, not by mechanical words. But repetition, visualization, and emotion can create belief where none was before. Begin with words, add imagination, stir it with feeling, and soon the subconscious accepts. Even if your mind whispers, "This is foolish," keep going. Each repetition is another drop carving the stone. Each affirmation is another seed. Do not despise small beginnings, for once the subconscious accepts, the harvest is inevitable. Your loved one does not need your despair. They need your unwavering impression of healing. I recall a case of a girl preparing for an audition. She trembled with fear, certain she would fail. Her mother, instead of joining in her worry, visualized her daughter standing confidently, singing beautifully, radiating joy. She prayed, "The Spirit of God sings through her. She is poised, calm, and inspired." She repeated it until it became her conviction. The girl walked into the audition transformed, and she succeeded. What gave her the strength? It was not just her own will, but the unseen support of her mother's faith, impressed upon the one mind that unites us all. Your belief can lift another, even when their own belief is weak. Never underestimate the influence of your inner prayer. Guard then your nightly thoughts. The moments before sleep are the most powerful for planting seeds in the subconscious. If you lie awake rehearsing fear for your loved one, you are programming despair. But if you fall asleep affirming their wholeness, you are programming healing. Whisper before sleep, divine love fills them. The light of God restores them. They are whole and free. Imagine them smiling, laughing, strong. Hold the image until it feels real. As you sleep, your subconscious continues the prayer, sending its impression into the depths of the one life that connects you and them. And in the silence of night, unseen forces are at work. The law is impartial. It does not resist. It does not delay. It does not argue. It expresses whatever you impress. If you impress doubt, it expresses doubt. If you impress faith, it expresses faith. Do not wait until you feel perfect conviction. Begin now. Speak the prayer even if your heart trembles. Each time you repeat it, the trembling lessens and the conviction grows. Soon the image of wholeness will be more real to you than the image of sickness. And when that tipping point comes, healing will begin to manifest outwardly. Trust the process. Trust the law. Trust the infinite that flows through all. Do not pray with anxiety. Pray with authority. You are not begging a reluctant God. You are aligning with the law of life. You are commanding the subconscious with images of wholeness. Speak as a sovereign, not as a beggar. Say, I decree peace, I decree strength, I decree healing now. Feel the words as real, for in the realm of spirit they are already true. The subconscious is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, and your prayer is the command that directs it. Use that command wisely, lovingly, persistently, and know that even now, as you pray, the law is at work. Now let us affirm this together for your loved one. Say with me, divine order restores them. The peace of God fills them. They are whole, they are strong, they are healed. Write it, whisper it, engrave it on the tablet of your mind. For once the subconscious accepts this image, nothing can prevent its expression. Healing is not a question of if, but only of when. And when it comes, you will know it was not chance. It was the law of belief, responding to the prayer of love. There is a secret you must never forget. When you pray for someone you love, you are not pushing your will upon them. You are awakening the truth that already lies within them. Every soul carries the seed of wholeness, for the presence of God is in all. Sickness, despair, or fear are not ultimate realities. They are passing shadows. Your prayer is not to fight the shadow, but to shine the light. When you affirm, they are whole, they are strong, they are guided, you are not inventing something new. You are calling forth what was true all along. And the subconscious, receiving this impression, transmits it across the invisible bond of spirit, clothing it in form and expression. Prayer is not creating something, it is revealing something eternal. I once counseled a man. whose brother had fallen into destructive habits. The family's constant words were, "He is hopeless, he will never change." And indeed, the brother lived down to their decree. I told the man, "Change your prayer, stop affirming his downfall, begin affirming his freedom." The man obeyed. Each night he declared, "The Spirit of God delivers my brother. He is free, he is whole, he is guided by divine wisdom." He visualized him strong, sober, filled with peace. In time, the brother began to change. Opportunities arose, strength returned, and the family was astonished. But it was no accident. It was law. The old impression of despair had been replaced with a new impression of freedom, and the subconscious expressed it. When you pray for the hurting, never hold them in the image of their pain. To pity them is to chain them to the condition. Compassion is not pity. Compassion is seeing beyond the wound to the perfection that waits to be revealed. Do not say, "Poor soul, so broken." Say, "Divine life heals and restores them." Do not see them as weak, see them as strong. Do not see them as lost, see them as guided. Your inner image is the pattern you hand to the subconscious, and it will faithfully build it. If you would build a palace of healing, do not hand it the blueprint of despair. Remember also that the subconscious accepts symbols as readily as words. If you cannot easily form the belief with sentences, then create the image of your loved one radiant with light. Imagine them walking freely, smiling, filled with peace. See a golden river flowing through them, washing away pain, filling every cell with vitality. The subconscious accepts imagery with power, for it does not argue. This is why visual prayer is so effective. Combine the image with affirmation and you multiply the impression. Say, "The healing light of God fills them," while you see that light pouring through them. Do this faithfully, and soon the subconscious accepts the impression as fact. You may ask, "But what if I myself am discouraged?" Then pray for yourself first, to align your heart with truth. For you cannot give what you do not have. Affirm, "I am filled with divine peace. I am a channel of healing love. I am strong in spirit." As you impress this upon your subconscious, strength will flow into you, and from that overflow, you can pray effectively for another. A weak flame cannot light another candle, but a strong one can. Build the fire within, then extend it outward. Healing prayer is born from a heart anchored in its own conviction. Do not measure the power of your prayer by immediate appearances. The seed planted tonight may sprout tomorrow, or next week, or in months to come. Do not dig it up with doubt. Do not say, "Nothing has happened." Something always happens the moment belief is impressed. The subconscious begins its silent work, drawing on infinite intelligence, orchestrating circumstances, guiding unseen processes. Just because the fruit is not visible today does not mean the seed is dead. The law of growth cannot be hurried, but neither can it be stopped. Trust the unseen germination. Persist in your prayer until the harvest shows. You must also learn to separate the condition from the person. Do not identify them with the sickness or the sorrow. Do not call them a cancer patient or a hopeless addict. These labels impress the wrong image. Instead, affirm their true identity, a child of God, whole, strong, free. Say, "He is more than this condition. She is greater than this pain. Divine life within them is now expressing." The subconscious responds to identification. If you identify them with sickness, it sustains sickness. If you identify them with wholeness, it reveals wholeness. Train yourself to see beyond the surface and affirm the eternal truth. Now let us anchor this part with a prayer you can use whenever someone you love is hurting. Say it with me. Divine love surrounds them. Divine life flows through them. Divine wisdom guides them. They are strong, they are free, they are whole now. Write it, whisper it, repeat it until your heart feels it is true. For once the subconscious accepts this impression, nothing can prevent its expression. This is the prayer of faith, the prayer of love, the prayer that heals. And as you speak it tonight, know that you are not asking for possibility. You are declaring reality. When you stand before the suffering of someone you love, you may feel powerless, as though their pain is beyond your reach. But you are never powerless, for the subconscious mind knows no barriers of distance or circumstance. Thought is the bridge that spans oceans. Faith is the language that every soul understands, and prayer is the force that unites the invisible with the visible. When you hold your loved one in the light of divine perfection, that impression does not stay locked within you. It radiates outward into the one great subconscious that binds all humanity. You are planting in a field larger than your own mind, and that seed will find its way to the one for whom you pray. A father once came to me with grief over his son, who had wandered into destructive choices. He said, "I lie awake imagining his ruin." I told him, "Each night you rehearse his ruin. You are impressing that image more deeply. Replace it, see him whole, see him free, see him guided by divine wisdom. Pray not his downfall, but his deliverance." The father obeyed, affirming, God's love surrounds him, divine order guides him, he is strong and free. He saw him walking upright, smiling, filled with peace. Within months the boy began to change. Opportunities opened, mentors appeared, and the destructive habits fell away. What worked the change? Not scolding, not despair, but the silent prayer of faith impressed upon the subconscious. When you pray for another, do not confuse pleading with power. The subconscious does not respond to begging. It responds to belief. A fearful cry may release emotion, but it does not impress conviction. To beg is to declare lack. To affirm is to declare truth. Say not, "Please heal them." Say, "They are healed now," for the healing presence of God flows through them. Say not, "I hope they will be strong." Say, "They are strong," for divine strength upholds them now. Speak as one who knows, not as one who doubts, for the subconscious obeys certainty, not uncertainty. This is the authority of prayer, to declare what is true in spirit until it is expressed in form. Do not be deceived by appearances. The body may look frail, the mind may seem troubled, but these are outer conditions, the reflections of past impressions. They are not eternal, they are not final. The subconscious is always ready to accept new instruction, and the moment you plant the seed of healing, the process begins. Think of the farmer. He does not despair when the field is bare. He knows the seed is germinating unseen. So too in prayer. Do not despair when the condition lingers. Know that the law is working, silently, faithfully, inevitably. Your task is not to force the growth, but to plant with faith and water with persistence. Some may argue, but what if the one I love resists? What if they do not believe? The subconscious is not hindered by conscious resistance when the impression is strong enough. Love and faith, deeply impressed, bypass the surface doubt and reach the inner core. That is why the prayers of a mother, a father, a friend have lifted countless souls when they could not lift themselves. The subconscious speaks to subconscious. Spirit speaks to spirit, beyond the clamor of conscious doubt. Your role is not to wrestle with their resistance, but to hold the image of their wholeness so firmly that nothing can shake it. And in time, that image takes root. I remember a case of a woman who prayed for her sister, bedridden with illness. At first she wept nightly, imagining the worst. Then she learned to change her prayer. She affirmed, the light of God flows through her. She is radiant, whole, strong. She saw her sister laughing, walking, filled with energy. She repeated it until she believed it. Weeks later, the sister began to recover. The physicians called it remarkable, but it was not remarkable, it was law. The subconscious had received the new impression, and the body conformed. This is the secret you must grasp. What is impressed will be expressed, whether in your life or in the life of another. Guard against double-mindedness. Do not affirm healing in prayer, then cancel it with fear in conversation. If you say she is healed, but then tell others, I fear she is getting worse, you are sowing both wheat and weeds. The harvest will be confusion. Be single-minded. Let your inner speech agree with your prayer. Speak only the truth you want expressed. If others speak fear, do not join them. Hold silently to your affirmation, and let the subconscious hear only one voice, the voice of faith. For the subconscious is faithful to the dominant impression, and if faith is dominant, faith will be expressed. The subconscious also responds to rhythm and repetition. That is why affirmations said regularly, with feeling, sink more deeply than scattered words. Make your prayer a rhythm. Whisper it each morning, each night, until it beats in your heart like the pulse of life. Divine love surrounds him. Divine peace fills her. Divine order guides them. Let it become your song, your breath, your constant inner dialogue. In time, it will no longer feel like effort, but like truth, and the subconscious, convinced, will bring it forth in expression. Now let us affirm together, sealing this part with conviction. Say, divine love enfolds them. Divine life flows through them. Divine wisdom directs them. They are strong, they are whole, they are free. Write it down, whisper it. Let it sink into your subconscious. For what you impress for another is never wasted. It enters the one life. It moves through the one mind, and it will find its way into the life of the one you love. And when it manifests, you will know it was not accident, but the unfailing law of belief. When the person you love is hurting, you may feel the weight of their suffering pressing on your heart, and your first instinct is to carry their burden yourself. But you were never meant to be crushed under the weight of another's pain. You were meant to channel the infinite presence that heals. The secret is not in worrying for them, but in transforming worry into faith, fear into affirmation, sorrow into decree. Worry is wasted prayer, for it is merely fear rehearsed. True prayer is faith declared. When you look at your loved one, see not their pain but their perfection. See beyond the appearance to the truth, and let that truth be the impression you plant in the soil of your subconscious. That impression will not stay hidden. It will rise and manifest in their life. I once spoke with a man whose wife was battling illness. Every day he said, "I am terrified I will lose her." His fear, though born of love, was a constant suggestion impressed upon the subconscious, and it gave power to the very condition he dreaded. I told him, replace fear with faith. Do not pray in panic, pray in authority. Say, the healing presence of God flows through her now. She is whole, she is restored, she is strong. See her as already healed. Imagine her walking, smiling, vibrant. Hold that image until it feels more real than the sickness. He obeyed, and over time, her body responded. It was not magic, it was law. Fear impresses fear, but faith impresses healing. Understand that your subconscious mind is like a fertile garden. It accepts every seed, whether of faith or of fear, whether of despair or of hope. It does not discriminate. If you sow weeds, weeds will grow. If you sow roses, roses will grow. The soil is impartial. The harvest depends entirely on the seed you plant. When you pray for your loved one, ask yourself, am I planting fear or faith? Am I handing the subconscious a blueprint of sickness or of wholeness? For what you impress is what will be expressed. The law does not mock you, it serves you. It is your choice whether it serves fear or serves love. You may think, but the evidence is so strong. The doctors say it is hopeless. Yet evidence is only the past made visible. It is the result of yesterday's seeds. But tonight you are planting new seeds, and tomorrow's evidence will grow from them. Do not give reverence to appearances. Appearances change, but the law of belief is eternal. If you impress health now, health must in time appear. If you affirm wholeness now, wholeness must in time manifest. The body responds to the mind responds to belief, and belief is your choice. Never let despair be your last word. Always let faith speak last, for the subconscious obeys the final command. You must also recognize the importance of persistence. One prayer whispered once may not be enough to uproot years of fear or habit, but repeated daily, nightly with emotion and conviction. Prayer becomes a rhythm that sinks into the depths of the subconscious. Think of a drop of water falling on stone. One drop leaves no mark, but 1,000 drops carve a channel. So too with your affirmations. Whisper again and again. Divine love fills them. Divine life restores them. Divine wisdom guides them. Soon the subconscious will yield, and when it does, the outer world must reflect the inner decree. Guard your speech in the presence of others. Do not affirm healing in secret, but speak fear in public. If others complain, she is getting worse, do not join them. Instead, hold silently to your affirmation, and if you must speak, say, I trust divine order is at work, healing is unfolding. Do not let your words betray your prayer, for idle words are impressions too, and the subconscious records them. Be single-minded. Let every thought, every word, every prayer agree on one truth. They are healed, they are strong, they are free. This unity of impression gives power to your prayer, and the subconscious, once convinced, cannot resist. One mother once prayed for her daughter, who suffered from crippling fear. At first she begged, God, please take this fear away. But she learned instead to declare, divine courage fills her. She is calm, she is confident, she is free. She visualized her daughter walking boldly, speaking with strength. She repeated this nightly until the image became her conviction. Slowly the daughter changed. The fear melted, courage grew, and a new life began. The mother did not give her daughter courage by willpower. She impressed courage upon her subconscious, and through the one mind it was transmitted. This is the silent miracle of prayer. Do not think you are praying alone. Every time you affirm, you are joining with infinite intelligence, which multiplies your impression beyond what you can imagine. You are not forcing the healing. You are aligning with the law that heals. You are not creating strength. You are releasing the strength already within. Your role is not to beg for what is absent, but to declare what is present. And once you declare it, hold to it as though it were already seen, for in truth, it already is. The subconscious, once impressed, must express, and no condition can stand against it. Now let us end this part with a prayer for your loved one. Say it aloud, write it, whisper it until it lives in you. Divine love heals them, divine light restores them, divine strength fills them. They are whole, they are free, they are strong now. Let it sink into your subconscious like a seed into fertile soil. For once impressed, this law cannot fail. What is impressed will be expressed. And tonight you have planted life. When the one you love is in pain, it is easy to feel that your role is only to watch, to comfort, or to wait. But you must know the deeper truth. You are more than a bystander. You are a channel through which divine power can move. Every thought you hold, every image you entertain, every word you speak about them is a force entering their life through the one mind that unites us all. If you choose fear, you add to their burden. If you choose faith, you become an unseen medicine. Never underestimate how deeply your inner state influences theirs. Prayer is not only spoken aloud, it is the constant impression you give to the subconscious, and that impression never fails to express itself outwardly. There was a mother whose son had been injured, lying in a hospital bed. Her heart was torn with grief, and every night she whispered, "I fear I will lose him." Those words, though spoken in love, were a command to her subconscious. I told her, change your command. Say not what you fear, but what you choose. I gave her these words. Divine life flows through him now. He is whole, he is strong, he is restored. She began repeating them nightly, imagining him walking in strength, smiling in joy. Slowly his condition improved until he fully recovered. What changed was not chance, but the prayer of faith impressed upon the law of belief. Remember this always. Your subconscious is not swayed by appearances, but by the impression of conviction. The subconscious mind cannot argue with you. It will accept whatever you tell it with emotion. If you say he is failing, it accepts and expresses that. If you say he is healed, it accepts and expresses that. The soil does not care whether you plant weeds or roses. It will grow whatever seed you give it. So it is with prayer. Be ruthless in rejecting weeds of fear. Plant only seeds of wholeness. Each time fear rises, answer it immediately with faith. Say aloud, divine order governs their life. The healing presence flows through them now. Write it on a slip of paper, place it by your bed. Repeat it until it becomes the dominant impression. For the subconscious expresses the dominant impression, and if that impression is faith, healing must follow. Guard against double-mindedness. Many pray with faith in silence, then speak fear in conversation. They affirm healing in prayer, but cancel it with gossip of despair. The subconscious is not deceived. It records both, and the stronger impression wins. Therefore, let your outer words agree with your inner prayer. If others speak of decline, you need not argue. Simply hold silently to your affirmation. They are whole, they are strong, they are healed. Let the subconscious hear only one truth. The law responds to unity, not contradiction. Be single-minded in your prayer, and the result will be inevitable. Consider the case of a minister in South Africa, diagnosed with lung disease. By all appearances, death was near. Yet night after night, he visualized his lungs glowing with light, affirmed, "The life of God breathes through me now. Every cell is healed, every organ restored." In time, his body conformed to the image impressed. What is true for oneself is also true when praying for another. When you hold your loved one in the light of divine perfection, The subconscious receives the image and transmits it into their life. The body is the servant of the mind, and the mind is the servant of belief. Change the belief and the body must follow. This is law, exact and unfailing. Never let appearances intimidate you. A diagnosis, a report, a condition, all these are shadows of yesterday's thoughts. Do not give them power by rehearsing them. Plant a new seed today. Say within yourself, they are one with infinite light. They are guided, they are healed, they are free. Visualize them radiant, whole, at peace. Hold the image long enough and the subconscious will accept it as reality. Once accepted, expression cannot be prevented. It may unfold gradually or suddenly, but unfold it must. Your task is not to time the harvest, but to sow faithfully. The rest belongs to the law, and the law never fails. You must also learn to pray without strain. Do not tense yourself, do not force belief. Relax into the truth and let it flow naturally. The subconscious responds not to struggle, but to calm conviction. Enter the silence, breathe deeply and affirm gently. Divine peace fills them, divine strength lifts them, divine love restores them. Feel the words as true, then release them. You do not need to repeat anxiously all day. Plant the seed and trust the soil. Faith is trust. The more you rest in assurance, the faster the subconscious accepts and expresses. Do not forget that your prayer is not isolated. When you pray, you join with infinite intelligence, which magnifies your impression beyond measure. You are not striving alone, you are aligning with the law that governs the universe. This is why prayer works even at great distance, why love reaches across oceans, why healing can begin though you are not present in the room. The subconscious knows no boundaries, for it is part of the one mind. Believe this, and your prayer becomes unstoppable. Your words, once impressed with conviction, move through the one life that unites us all and find expression where they are needed most. Now let us seal this part with a living affirmation. Say with me, the life of God flows through them now. The peace of God fills them now. The love of God restores them now. They are whole, they are strong, they are free. Write it, whisper it, feel it is already true. For once the subconscious accepts this image, nothing can stand against its expression. Healing is not a distant hope, it is a present law, and tonight as you pray, that law is already at work. There is a truth so powerful that once it is grasped, it changes how you see every sickness, every sorrow, every suffering of someone you love. That truth is this: the subconscious mind cannot be sick, cannot be broken, cannot be wounded. It is perfect, eternal, united with infinite light. The body may falter, the mind may tremble, but the deeper self remains untouched. When you pray for another, you are not asking to create health out of nothing. You are calling forth the health that already exists in the eternal dimension of their being. You are saying to the subconscious, express now what has always been true, and once impressed, the subconscious has no choice but to obey. A woman once prayed for her brother, who had been bedridden for months. She had fallen into the trap of saying aloud, "He is helpless, he is so weak, he is near the end." And her subconscious, hearing her repeated decree, reinforced the condition. I told her, never say what you fear, say only what you choose. She began to affirm, he is filled with divine light. Strength flows through him now. He rises in health and peace. She imagined him walking into the sunlight, smiling with freedom. She repeated it until it became conviction. Within weeks he grew stronger, to the astonishment of doctors. But the law was not astonished. It had only done what it always does, expressed what was impressed. You must see prayer as more than words. Prayer is atmosphere. Prayer is the mental climate you create around your loved one. If you constantly speak of fear, worry, and decline, you create an atmosphere that chokes the seed of healing. But if you continually speak of love, peace, and restoration, you create an atmosphere in which healing thrives. The subconscious breathes in that atmosphere and produces its likeness. Guard therefore the air you create around them. Let it be the fragrance of faith, not the stench of fear. Let every conversation be laced with hope. Let every thought be charged with light. In this climate, healing is not strained, it is natural. Consider also that the subconscious accepts repetition as proof. What you declare again and again, with feeling, it accepts as fact. This is why constant complaint deepens suffering, and constant affirmation produces healing. The more you repeat it, the deeper the impression, and the deeper the impression, the surer the expression. Do not be weary of saying the same prayer nightly. Each repetition is another stroke upon the tablet of the subconscious. Each stroke engraves the truth more deeply, and once engraved, the subconscious will not forget. It will carry out the command with precision. For the law of life is the law of belief, and belief is born of repetition. One man once prayed for his friend in despair, lost in darkness of mind. Instead of pitying him, he affirmed, "The light of God guides him now." Peace fills his mind. Joy restores his soul. He saw him walking freely, head lifted, eyes shining. He held this vision not once but daily, until it became unshakable within him. Slowly the friend began to recover. His mind cleared. His joy returned. Was it chance? No, it was correspondence. The inner image, impressed with conviction, had to be expressed outwardly. This is the great secret. You cannot impress wholeness without wholeness being expressed. You cannot plant love without love being reaped. The law is exact. Do not let the doubts of others weaken your conviction. Some may say, "It is foolish to pray this way, the condition is too strong." But remember, their words are only suggestions, and suggestions cannot harm you unless you accept them. Refuse to accept their fear. Hold silently to your truth. Let their doubts roll past you like water off stone. For the subconscious does not respond to the multitude of voices. It responds only to the dominant impression. Make sure that impression is faith, and the voices of doubt will mean nothing. This is the discipline of prayer, to let nothing sway you from the inner image of wholeness. You must also remember to detach from the result. Do not watch every hour for signs of change, for that only plants doubt. Plant the seed, water it with repetition, and let the law work in silence. The farmer does not dig up the seed to check its progress. He trusts the soil. Trust your subconscious. Trust infinite intelligence. Once impressed, the law is already in motion, and no force can halt it. Rest in the assurance that healing is unfolding, whether seen or unseen. Let peace replace strain, and let gratitude replace fear. Say not, "Will it happen?" Say, "It is happening now." For in truth, the moment belief is impressed, the answer is born. Now let us anchor this part with an affirmation for your loved one. Say with me, "The light of God fills them. The life of God flows through them. The love of God restores them. They are whole, they are strong, they are free now." Write it, whisper it, feel it, until it becomes unshakable conviction. For the subconscious accepts conviction, and what it accepts, it must express. And as you pray tonight, know that you are not pleading, you are commanding law. And law, once set in motion, cannot fail. When someone you love is in the grip of pain, the most dangerous thing you can do is to give power to the very condition you wish to erase. To talk endlessly about their suffering, to imagine the worst outcome, to rehearse fear in your mind, this is not compassion, it is sabotage. For every thought, every image, every word you allow is impressed upon your subconscious, and through the one mind it flows into theirs. The law of life does not pause because you mean well. It does not discriminate between fear and faith. It simply takes what you impress and expresses it without fail. This is why you must become ruthless in choosing your inner conversation about them. You must see them not as they appear, but as they truly are, whole, radiant, strong, guided by infinite light. There was once a young woman who prayed for her father, stricken with despair after losing everything. At first she cried, "He will never recover, he is broken." And her subconscious obediently reinforced his brokenness. But she learned to change her inner decree. She began to affirm, divine order heals his heart. The joy of God restores him, he is free and strong. She visualized him walking with confidence, smiling, his shoulders lifted. Slowly his spirit revived, and with it came opportunities for new life. What lifted him was not chance, but the steady impression of her faith. Remember this, the image you hold is the seed you plant, and the seed you plant is the harvest you will see. Say it, write it, let it be engraved. What you impress is what will be expressed. Do not be deceived by pity, masquerading as love. Pity is a disguised form of fear, and fear has no healing power. Love is not pitying the weakness. Love is seeing the strength. Love is not affirming the pain. Love is affirming the wholeness. To see your loved one only in their condition is to chain them to it. To see them as they are in truth, eternal, divine, complete, is to unlock the door to their healing. When you pray, therefore, strip away the pity and clothe your words in faith. Declare, they are filled with life. They are radiant with health. They are lifted by love. Say it with the authority of one who knows. For the subconscious obeys conviction, not hesitation. Guard also the conversations you have with others. If family members gather only to speak of decline, do not join them in rehearsing the fear. You may answer quietly but firmly. I believe divine healing is at work. I believe strength is returning. I believe peace surrounds them now. Even if you say nothing, hold silently to your image of wholeness. Do not let the chorus of fear drown out your inner voice of faith. The subconscious is not swayed by the noise of the crowd. It is swayed by the dominant impression. If your impression is stronger, your prayer will prevail, regardless of the doubts around you. You must also understand that the subconscious speaks the language of images more than words. Words without feeling are empty shells. But when you wrap your words in vivid imagination, the subconscious accepts them as real. See your loved one radiant, walking free, laughing with peace. Picture them in perfect health, strong and untroubled. Unite this vision with affirmations such as, divine life flows through them. Every cell is whole. Every thought is peace. The image persuades the subconscious. The feeling seals it. And once sealed, expression follows. This is the creative act of prayer, to see and to feel until the unseen becomes more real than the seen. Do not measure the result by time. Seeds sprout in silence, and faith works in the unseen long before the harvest shows. Impatience digs up the seed, doubt withers the plant, but trust allows it to grow. Say not, it has been weeks, nothing has changed. Say, the law is working now, the healing is unfolding now. Divine order is never late. Rest in this assurance. The more you rest, the deeper the impression. The deeper the impression, the surer the expression. Let your calm faith be the silent proof that the prayer has already been answered. I recall the story of Madame Beer. Blind though her optic nerves were dead, yet through faith and subconscious impression, her sight returned. To the intellect, this was impossible, but to the law of belief, nothing is impossible. If sight can be restored where nerves were gone, what condition is beyond hope? None. The subconscious, connected to infinite intelligence, knows how to restore, how to guide, how to harmonize. Do not limit its power by doubting its scope. It has no limit except the one you impose through unbelief. Lift your belief, and you lift the result. Declare not only small healings, but great ones, for the law responds the same. A button or a fortune, a headache or a disease, it is all one to the subconscious. It only asks, what do you believe? You must therefore end every day with prayer, not fear. Let your last impression before sleep be the truth you want expressed. As you drift into slumber, affirm, divine love fills them, divine life restores them, divine peace surrounds them. See them radiant, smiling, whole. Hold the image gently but persistently, and as you sleep, your subconscious continues the prayer. It does not slumber, it works through the night, impressing the one mind, transmitting the one light. And when you awaken, hold the same prayer in your heart, for what is impressed at night is reinforced by day. Let us close this part with a decree of healing. Say it with me. Divine love enfolds them. Divine life heals them. Divine peace uplifts them. They are whole, they are free, they are strong now. Write it, whisper it, repeat it until the conviction fills you. For once the subconscious accepts it, the expression is inevitable. And as you pray tonight, know that you are not asking, you are commanding law. And law, once commanded, must obey. There comes a moment when you realize that the greatest gift you can give to someone you love who is hurting is not your worry, not your pity, not even your constant words of concern. It is your unwavering belief in their wholeness. Belief is the highest form of love, for it sees beyond the wound to the perfection waiting to be revealed. When you pray with conviction, you are saying to them, even in silence, I see you not as broken, but as complete. I see you not as lost, but as guided. I see you not as weak, but as strong. And that vision impressed upon the subconscious moves through the one mind and lifts them in ways no human hand could. This is the unseen bond of prayer. Your belief becomes their strength. One father once told me he had lost all hope for his daughter, trapped in fear and despair. He said, "Every time I see her, I think she will never rise again." I told him, "Then you are chaining her to her condition with your thought. Release her by affirming her freedom." He began to declare, "Divine courage fills her now. She is calm. She is confident. She is free." He saw her smiling, walking boldly, living joyfully. At first he struggled, but he persisted. Over time, his daughter began to change. Her spirit lifted, her courage awakened. The outer world mirrored the inner decree. The law had done its work. What was impressed was expressed. Remember this: never bind your loved one with fearful thoughts. Release them with faithful thoughts, and the subconscious will respond. Understand that healing prayer is not about trying to force God to act. God has already acted, for the healing presence is eternal and ever-present. Prayer is aligning yourself with that presence, impressing it upon the subconscious until it becomes conviction, and then allowing the law to express it outwardly. You are not begging for power, you are releasing the power already within. The moment you stop pleading and start declaring, the moment you stop fearing and start affirming, the subconscious shifts. And once it shifts, expression is inevitable. The law of life is the law of belief. Say it, write it, let it sink deep. The law of life is the law of belief. Be careful what images you allow to dominate your mind. If you constantly replay scenes of hospitals, despair, or loss, you are planting seeds of decline. Replace them with images of life, vitality, and joy. See your loved one walking in sunlight, laughing with freedom, radiant with health. The subconscious accepts vivid imagery with great force. Unite it with affirmations such as, "The healing light of God fills them now. The peace of God surrounds them now. The strength of God restores them now." Repeat until the image feels more real than the condition. For the subconscious does not ask what is real or unreal. It accepts what you feel to be real, and it makes it so. You must also learn the power of detachment. Do not cling anxiously to the outcome, for anxiety is itself an impression of fear. Plant your prayer with faith, water it with persistence, and then release it. Trust that the law is already at work. Just as the farmer does not dig up the seed each day to see if it grows, you must not dig up your prayer with doubt. Rest in assurance, for rest is faith, and rest deepens the impression. Say, "It is done now. The healing is unfolding now. Divine order is never late." This calm conviction is the atmosphere in which miracles are born. Do not let the doubts of others enter your heart. Some may say, "It is too late, nothing can change." But their words are only suggestions, and suggestions cannot harm you unless you accept them. Refuse their fear, and silently reaffirm your truth. They are strong, they are whole, they are free. Let your conviction be a fortress, unmoved by the winds of despair. The subconscious responds only to the impression you allow, not to the chatter of the crowd. Hold fast, and the law will vindicate your faith. Remember, too, that the subconscious accepts not only words, but the spirit in which they are spoken. If you repeat affirmations with tension, you impress tension. If you repeat them with peace, you impress peace. Therefore, pray with calm authority. Breathe deeply, relax your mind, and declare, "Divine life flows through them now. Divine love restores them now. Divine peace uplifts them now." Let the words carry the weight of conviction, not strain. The subconscious hears tone, not volume. It obeys certainty, not struggle. I once knew a woman who prayed for her friend battling great pain. She imagined him radiant, strong, filled with light. She affirmed daily, "He is healed, he is whole, he is free." In time his health returned, and he himself testified that he had felt an unseen strength lifting him during his darkest nights. That strength was her prayer, moving through the one mind, finding expression in his life. This is the mystery and the majesty of prayer. It travels where no hand can reach. It touches where no word can go. It heals where medicine falters. And yet it is no mystery to the law, for the law simply expresses what is impressed. Now let us seal this part with an affirmation of faith for your loved one. Say with me, divine life flows through them. Divine love heals them. Divine peace surrounds them. They are whole, they are strong, they are free now. Write it, whisper it, let it take root in your subconscious. For once accepted, nothing can prevent its expression. Healing is not distant, it is here. It is not uncertain, it is law. And tonight, by your prayer, the law has already begun its work. There is a sacred moment in prayer when you realize that you are not merely speaking words, but releasing a force greater than yourself. That force is the law of belief, the bridge between your love for another and the infinite life that heals all. When someone you love is hurting, your greatest weapon is not despair, nor worry, nor tears. It is the conviction that divine order is restoring them now. And this conviction, once impressed upon your subconscious, radiates into the one mind that connects all souls. The healing that follows is not chance, it is not coincidence. It is law, eternal, unfailing, impartial, responding with precision to the pattern you hold within. A man once asked me, "How can I pray for my wife when every sign points to decline?" I told him, "Do not pray the signs, pray the truth." Signs are shadows of yesterday's thoughts. Truth is eternal, untouched by time. I taught him to declare the light of God flows through her. Every cell is alive with divine energy. She is whole now. He repeated this nightly, saw her radiant and free in his imagination, and refused to accept any picture less than wholeness. Slowly her health improved until she was restored. The doctors called it remarkable, but it was not remarkable, it was inevitable. The subconscious had been impressed with truth, and what is impressed will be expressed. You must remember always that prayer is not about begging a distant God to intervene. Prayer is aligning with the divine presence already within, planting its truth in the subconscious until it must bear fruit. When you pray for your loved one, you are not sending a hope. You are engraving a decree. The subconscious is the faithful servant that carries out every decree, whether born of fear or faith. If you decree despair, despair will be expressed. If you decree healing, healing will be expressed. The choice is always yours. Say it with me. I decree healing. I decree peace. I decree strength. Let these words live in you until they shape conviction, for the law always responds to conviction. Do not imagine prayer as a desperate attempt to change reality. See it instead as the act of creating reality. The body, the mind, the circumstance, they are clay. The subconscious is the potter, and belief is the hand that shapes. If you hand it fear, it fashions weakness. If you hand it love, it fashions strength. If you hand it despair, it fashions decline. But if you hand it faith, it fashions restoration. You are the one who decides what clay will become. The law is not cruel, it is consistent. And once you grasp its consistency, you will never again waste prayer on fear. You will pray only with authority, knowing that your decree must be fulfilled. Consider this. Every time you affirm wholeness for your loved one, you are not only lifting them, you are lifting yourself. Prayer for another always returns multiplied to the one who prays, for the subconscious cannot separate you from them. What you declare for them is also impressed in you. When you say, "She is strong, she is healed," the subconscious hears, "I am strong, I am healed." This is why prayer is never wasted, why every loving affirmation enriches not only the one you pray for, but also the one who prays. The law of life is reciprocal, for all are one in the infinite. So pray with joy, knowing that as you bless another, you too are blessed. Guard against the temptation to let fear speak louder than faith. Conditions may scream, "It is hopeless," but let your heart whisper, "It is already done." Appearances may shout, "There is no way," but let your soul affirm, "Divine wisdom makes a way now." The subconscious is deaf to noise, but attentive to conviction. It will not obey the volume of fear, but the steadiness of faith. Hold your prayer as a steady flame, unmoved by the winds of doubt, and in time the outer world will reflect the inner fire. For what is impressed must be expressed, and no shadow can extinguish the light once planted in conviction. You must also cultivate gratitude as part of your prayer. Gratitude is faith completed. To say, "Thank you, Father, that they are healed," is to declare that the prayer is already answered. Gratitude impresses finality upon the subconscious. It says, "This is done." And once the subconscious accepts it as done, it cannot fail to express. Begin and end your prayer with thanksgiving, not with begging. Say, "Thank you for their wholeness. Thank you for their peace. Thank you for their freedom." Gratitude seals the impression like wax on a decree, and the law moves with speed to bring it forth. Do not forget that every prayer you speak is eternal. Words of faith never vanish. They live on in the subconscious, working silently until expression comes. The prayer you whisper tonight may blossom weeks from now, months from now, but blossom it must. The law does not lose seed. It guards every impression until harvest. Therefore, do not despair if you do not see immediate results. Trust that the law is faithful. Trust that your loved one is being lifted even now. Trust that infinite love is at work through the prayer you have planted, and rest in assurance. Faith is rest, and rest deepens the impression. Now let us close this message with the prayer you will carry in your heart for your loved one. Say it with me. Divine love surrounds them. Divine life heals them. Divine peace fills them. They are whole, they are free, they are strong now. Write it on your paper. Whisper it tonight before sleep. Engrave it upon your heart until it becomes your conviction. For once it is impressed, it must be expressed. And when the healing appears, you will know it was never chance, but law, the law of life, the law of belief, the law that cannot fail.